Hi, my name is Sheila Corinna. Welcome to Love Letters from the Universe. This is actually featuring Lisa Flamino Rush. I am your facilitator. Today is August the 24th, 2023. That's a Thursday. And actually, I did want to say this actually, for those of you that have been following for a little while, we used to call this actionable intuitive intel. And this, you want to talk about how, I don't know, this just feels different. And how it now this is what we're going to call it. So,
Yeah, it's kind of it seems like everything I'm doing now is sort of morphing into something slightly different than the way they had
originally
meant
thought
to
about
sort
it.
of get a little life of their own here. And so I've kind of renamed this little segment that I'm doing with my team that is so these are just fractals of me, my team, that are having um, their own embodiments, and they are on a different portion of this timeline in this physical reality, but they are in the physical reality. So these are my friends, my brothers and sisters. You could say they're me in the future, um, that reside on a ship, and they are a um, community of many different races from throughout the different galaxies in this universe. And they are a community that work together in love. And they've healed a lot of stuff, and they have a lot of gifts to offer one interested in healing themselves. So I have agreed to tune in regularly to them, and it's actually a trust building exercise. This is part of my master class that I'm taking with myself. And my internal guidance has asked me to participate in this conversation. And I'm building trust. I'm learning to trust my team of support, and they are learning to trust me. So they have requested that certain things that they would wish to share with the community at large, and they would like to do that through me. And I have agreed to accommodate them in this. And so this is all me proving that I'm all in, and that I trust myself, and that I am grateful to be in contact with my beautiful family that is on a ship.
I love
So
that. I love that. Now,
that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing, as my dad would say.
well, well, that was a bit of a simplified version, and I was thinking to myself, we might either need to do another, uh, either lengthier conversation that introduces you, how you came about to know your team and that sort of thing,
Yes.
which we could do. If you'd
Yeah,
like, we could do
absolutely.
that at another time.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Being that this is a new venture for us, I think that would be lovely to have folks have available to them.
Yes.
Because, well, part of my coming to know you is that I didn't think I was even connected at all, right? And so, it's always a progression. So,
Yeah.
so as of today, you've gotten another
Well, actually, I received this on Tuesday, and I printed it up today. And today
okay,
we're going to talk
awesome.
about it. So,
Okay.
and I did put it on my blog because the request was that it goes out to the blog, and then if I feel called to talk about it, to do that. And so, because Sheila was interested in talking about it with me today, we are having a conversation. So, um, you can also look for these love letters on my blog, because that's where they go after, and that's where they'll live as well.
Right. And that's at
Yeah,
heartsongmusings.wordpress.com, correct?
yes, That is correct. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because of the way things are going, I won't be putting links in the show more section anymore. So I don't give
Right.
the powers that, think they are anything to, point to. So external links are one of those. So I will just say it again. It is Heart Song Musings, musings.wordpress.com if you'd like to find Lisa's blog. And so you're going to share this one with us though for today, huh?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll just share it, and then share with me anything that comes up for you, and I'll do the same. We'll
Okay.
just discuss it.
Thank you. This is the first time because I have not read this for myself. You just gave it to me
Okay.
before we started, and I haven't read it, so this will be cool. Thank you.
Okay. So here we go. So this love letter is dated 8/24/23. Dear sisters and brothers of earth, today we wish to share our love and encouragement. We can see tremendous growth and potential for growth right now, like we've never witnessed before. Humanity is stepping up and in ways that are changing everything. More change has already taken place than you are privy to. Most of this change has been hidden by design to maintain control. There are things that are happening that are not shared with the public. Some of these changes are about to go viral, if you will, and will come out into the light for review and acknowledgement. This is a very natural process. It is a healing process. As you well know, healing can be messy, but in the long run is very necessary indeed. As painful as it is to debride a wound, it also brings much relief as the infection is cleaned up and cleared out so the body can heal the wound. This is a very old wound here. It has threatened the very survival of humanity and the universe itself. The universal immune system has been activated, and this wound is now being addressed and dressed. This is the first step in the healing and recovery process. If you can remember this, when you see the wound on full display, you can choose to celebrate this turn of events. You could embrace the revelation as a sign that humanity has moved into the healing and recovery phase. Let this awareness fill you up inside with the joy of the release of what was making you sick, so that you may be free to transform your illness into health. You are not going through this process alone. Since the universal immune system is on the scene, you are being attended to as well as assisted throughout this process. You have the full love and support of the entire universe. All that is happening here now is happening for you and not to you. This is your life. It is your game to play. You choose how this feels and looks for you. All you do serves all. You are now called to choose the future you prefer. It is now time to release the ways of being that no longer serve your health and well-being. Fill yourself up with the joy and peace that are your health and well-being. All is available to you through the power of now. Now, decide to be full of joy and peace and create joy and peace in all you do. You are loved beyond measure. See the signs of healing everywhere you look, for you have called it forth. We are your devoted family. We see you. We love you. We are you, your loving family of one.
Wow, that no wonder that does feel different. I said at the beginning that it felt different than the actionable intuitive intel.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was something I had named from someone else, a different segment from a different show, and all of that. And I had hoped to move that over and use that with you. You can't. This is completely different.
Yeah.
And there's it does still have actionable intuitive intel within it, but it is absolutely love letters from the universe.
It is.
That's just,
Oh, yeah. There's so much love for us that if we just knew that and tuned into it, there would be no problems on planet Earth.
you're so right. It's interesting to me that, again, you and I haven't been spending a lot of time together of late with you being in class and getting everything together for your workshops.
Mm-hmm.
And my recordings that I'm doing in here, and the contemplations that I find myself in of late.
Yeah.
During a very deep contemplation today, however, and yesterday, this run through this theme for me of exactly that, about how deeply I am loved by my soul, by the way, because that's all those messages that I have in my playlist are earworms that I have come to feel very strongly came straight from my soul as a message to me from my soul. And I've said that before, that I I once it's like being romanced in a way that is not,
Common.
well, certainly not for me. And
Right.
I-
Agree.
I've never been swept away in that sort of way in my life until I started paying attention to myself and the messages that I have for me. And that love you speak on there is, swept away was a word that just kept coming for me over the last few days, into the love that it just is. And that realization alone has been worth the ride for me.
Yeah. Well, and two, that love is the flow. And so, what better thing to be swept away in but love? It's perfection.
Yeah, I guess this is partly why I'm just now, right now, Lisa, seeing why it's been difficult for me to come and do anything of late. Right now, I'm speaking on with the channel.
Yeah.
As you know, I haven't been drawn.
Yes.
Part of it is I haven't the words. And as I try to convey what I am feeling and noticing that is happening for me, as I release my resistance to, well, just everything, really. um, I haven't the words. And so that's new for me. And then I sit here and feel like, okay, well, so what are you trying to, if you can't even talk about it, how are you gonna, what do you think you're doing up there? You know what I mean? Then that's when that comes in, and I'm like, well, I don't know, because and I know that it will present itself eventually. And I also know that those who need to hear it will hear it and do recognize the truth in the words for themselves.
Right.
So it's not that at all. It's just like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to convey some of what has been transpiring
Yes.
for me.
No, I understand that. It's so new and foreign. We don't even have languaging, right? That's capable of conveying the truth of things. No, I'm really feeling that. And I've seen different ones. I'm thinking of a woman, I can't think of her name right now, but I saw her on an interview talking about, she's a poet, and she was talking about reinventing the English language. Um, Mainly for the reason I just said, because we don't have the words necessary to convey some of these new awarenesses, and there's intricacies that to describe them in our old languaging actually nullifies the point I'm trying to make, or it limits the point because we're using a very old box to describe something, or a very old language. I'm not sure where the limit is exactly, but there isn't room for the fullness of the experience once you put language on it.
I think I know why. What I'm being
Okay.
shown as you're speaking there, what I'm being shown is
Yeah.
the proclivity for each to understand language in their own manner.
Yeah.
And that is true across the board. We all do that, whether we believe it or not. That is the way it goes because words are intrinsically entwined in experiences. We all learn to speak, and it's all tied up with the experiences as we go, right? What this means to one does not mean the same to another, is what I'm
Right.
speaking on. And so that too, for me, I'm being plays into this heavily because also just what of that that certain words evoke certain feelings within beings who are not aware that it doesn't affect all beings the same way, right? Like since I figured that out for myself,
Mm-hmm.
that more than anything else helped me see me and everybody else as completely unique in that I can't assume because I understood the words that are coming out of your mouth that I understood the words that are coming out of your mouth because they might not be what I think they are. You know what I mean? And so for
Yes.
me, the first of all, I keep being shown this part right here in your writing that you are loved beyond measure. First of all, I had to accept that once I relax into that and know that this other thing with language is absolutely so, it allows for more of that relaxing into, oh, okay. And there is nothing ever wrong with saying, I think I may not have really understood what you're trying to convey to me. Could we try that again? Or this is what I think, because you know me, I'll do that a lot. This is what I think I hear you saying. Please am I right? Is this, yeah, and sometimes even then they will say yes and continue on in some sort of fashion to say something. I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I meant either when I'm saying, did you mean this? Because that's not what I said, right? It's because that's happened to me. That's happened to me too.
Oh, me too. Yes.
Right, so that's where I guess for me, and it just does keep showing me that very part of your. I keep my eyes keep going to that. You are loved beyond measure, because that too also means many different things to many different people.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, and for me, I'm coming to the understanding that love really is about allowing, because, well, that's what love does. It just is and allows to be. And so I'm trying to also embody that, just loving and allowing to be. So I find myself, okay, for instance, it when I was early on, and I learned how to conversate sort of with my soul, like actually have a conversation and hear something back real time. I started asking these questions um, about, I'm sorry, that threw me off here and I lost my train of thought. And it was very specific, so I want to bring it back in. So,
Okay, it was when you were first learning about having the conversations and
yeah.
asking the questions.
And so I had asked about love. Um, oh, come back. It was the way that it was answered to me that I saw it. And of course, now it has just left me.
Oh, well,
I love it when that happens.
well, for one thing, I mean, I know for my own self, there was a lot of, and a lot of people I'm sure can relate to this, things that would take place where, I only do this because I love you, because I care about you. Otherwise, right? I wouldn't be doing this. Well, please don't hurt yourself on my account.
I remembered. Okay, so when I first started conversing, I was very hard on myself, right? So I didn't talk to myself with a whole lot of love, and it was more punitive and punishing, rather, my internal dialogue. And so rather than say, oh, my soul could have said, well, that's no way to talk to yourself. That's just rude. um, my soul would say things like, yes, and then show me. It would take the lower vibrational, like it would first validate my perspective as valid. It would say yes. Mm-hmm. Like that's one perspective. You can hold that and totally it be accurate. We'll agree. And then they'd say, and, right? So then now I'm stretching, and, okay. So I'm holding this perspective, but now I'm being introduced to one from a much higher point of view, one that includes this and this over here and connects the third thing to actually be some sort of actionable intel for me. So I didn't feel shamed. I didn't feel stupid. like I was limiting, I was stuck in some limits that I never felt that way in conversation with my soul. It literally was always pointing out to me a higher vantage point and including that in the picture. And then I clearly had a choice. Do I want to level up to my soul's opinion on this subject or swim around in this? Because I could feel the difference. I could feel how painful the limits that I placed on myself were, and what I experienced holding that limited point of view. That when I said, okay, and I listened to the higher perspective, boy, that felt really nice to embrace. That felt really empowering to understand. And so I began to take that point of view. Now, I couldn't hold it for very long because I just, for some reason, would fall back to sleep rather quickly once I was faced with all this evidence that was showing me the smallest perspective possible.
Mm-hmm.
But just allowing myself to entertain the new perspective, a different point of view, long enough, I began to really crave or look forward to what's my soul's opinion on this subject. And I'd go right to it and say, can you help me see this in a way that serves me now? That's allowing me to feel good and get what I am looking for out of whatever situation that, I find myself resisting at the moment. And I really realized that my soul never resists where I am. It's never angry with me. It isn't upset. It never treats me like, well, where have you been? Do you know how long I've been waiting on your ass? You know how long I've had this answer and been waiting here with it?
I can see you
Sure.
cheering up every damn time, and I've been waiting for you to ask this question. No, no, I got you.
Instead, I got, I'm so happy you finally asked me. And that feels completely different. Now it feels like my soul is actually happy to see me. My soul is thrilled to engage in relationship with me. That in and of itself made me feel so special that I began to crave more and more of this attention, of this focus. And so, now I spend hours taking dictation, and I see my soul as my best friend and my biggest inspiration and my biggest fan. How exciting is that? That's a completely different game to play in the physical reality realm of experience.
I'll say,
Completely different. I can vouch for that. My life feels exciting to me now. I
yeah,
am happy to get up out of the bed and see what my soul has in store for me today. And this is an example of what you get when you tune in. You get love. And if you don't know what love is, tune in and find out.
yeah, no, that's true.
Because it will reveal itself to you, and there'll be no mistaking it. Because
No,
like you
that's
said,
true.
it's so different than anything else you've experienced that
Well,
you know, oh, this is love. And that, yes, will resound in your body in ways that you can't even imagine.
that's right. Oh my, I will never, ever, ever forget where I was when I knew, when it finally dawned on me that this was indeed my soul wooing me. These earworms that I was getting when that song, and I said it the wrong the last couple of times. It's not a Katy Perry song. It's
Oh,
called Thousand Years.
okay.
I'll love you for 1,000 years. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more.
Right? That's love, baby.
I bawled so hard in the Walmart parking lot because that had been going off in my head all day. And I ignored it.
Finally
I,
heard
I
it.
ignored it until finally it had gone and gone and gone to where I was getting ready to go into a Walmart and I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to find it. I knew that I had to find it. And I saw those words and I just lost it at that point. I'm like, oh my,
Mm.
that's like so. And so I love that now. And I also, I love the new name for this segment too.
Yeah, me
And,
too. It's more
um,
fitting.
well, I would like very much for you to convey our collective thanks actually to your team for sharing these moments with us through you. And I look forward to many more.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They're awesome. It's the best part of my day. Receiving the love letter.
Right now, I do have I don't know why, but my eyes went right straight to one of the things here, and I have a feeling that there's a deeper thing, and I'm called to ask it now because I didn't before.
Yeah.
There's a point in here where they say the universal immune system has been activated, and this wound is now being addressed and dressed. And I noticed that wording, and and also the fact that they are capitalized. Those words, as a matter of fact, almost every word in that, but not every word is
Hmm.
capitalized. And I know that there are deeper meanings sometimes, and I was wondering if there is something there that you could share about that.
Yeah, I felt that too. So I had to look up a few words from today's thing. I'm not gonna lie. But so yes, the wound is now being addressed, meaning humanity, is acknowledging some things and it needs to be dressed. This is a medical wound metaphor. And to dress a wound is to create a safe place to assist the body to think of missing skin and maybe even muscle could be missing from this wound. This is a big wound we're talking about. So there are things that can be done to assist the body, and the body we're referring to is really humanity itself. And so think in terms of like being in an intensive care unit, right? Where those who are healthy and strong can attend to those who are lying on the table, if you will.
Right.
And so there are actions being done with us and for us in order to stabilize the situation and allow homeostasis and healing to take place. And that those, as you well know, are temporary activities and they're done in moments of crisis, usually with the appreciation and the permission of the one on the table. The one on the table is seeking the healing and call in the healers, if you
Right.
will. And so I feel like that is what was being referred to specifically there. Yes.
Yeah, as you were speaking
A
there,
lot of what they and I wanted to fix things, like I wanted to correct even words or the positions, how they'll word things will be awkward to my ear. And I want to fix it. And I've been asked to leave it alone. So some of this might be just to interrupt my own programming. Some of it is also, I've been told, is encoded, so it will speak directly to your soul, as we are all meeting in dream time to make our plan, if you will, or to prepare our next steps for our very particular and personal journey. And that we also reach consensus. So each one decides for self, and then the group comes together and they reach consensus as to how to proceed collectively. And so a lot of things that are capitalized here are a part of that coding process to put it into your unconscious and your conscious mind simultaneously about remembering consensus or the plan that we have in place. It sort of brings the I'm hearing congruency. So we have our plan in our dream time, and it's up to us to meet it in our physical waking. We have to be conscious of it, bring it up from the unconscious into the conscious, and that this is a tool for doing that. And for me specifically, and anyone who feels called or drawn to the material, it will also speak to them. And I'm told it's on many layers. Some I can see, and some I didn't see. I didn't understand that at all. So at first I fought all of it. But now I allow what wants to come in the way that it wants to come. And I just, in the act of allowing, I can now see the patterns and I can pick up on the codes, but not all of them. Because I said, oh, I see that, I get it, I understand what's going on. And they're saying, yes. And there are some things that are on a deeper level that you have yet to perceive, but that this is preceding the perceiving, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect
Will
sense.
allow me to perceive, if that.
No, that makes perfect sense. While you were speaking, I had the very distinct feeling of the multidimensionality that it speaks to.
Yes.
So that, that's exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're real clear with me. They don't, even though they're loving and always kind, it isn't sugar coated either. Like, I have been told that I currently hold belief systems that have no basis in reality. And that really shocked me, but not also at the same time, because I do know that I am loaded with errant belief systems and I have been doing nothing but sorting and sifting through them. But those belief systems are actually blocking actively things that have been downloaded to me from coming into my conscious awareness. And so a part of these love letters is for me to activate and to wake up these knowings within me so that I can bring them to consciousness.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I've said before, I feel as though, and which is again why I've never taken that down, and I never will, because honestly, I feel like questioning oneself. Why do I believe what I think I believe? Really? Is a bit, where did it come from?
Tool.
But yes, it has been so helpful to have that questioning oneself, questioning someone else. Questions apparently interrupt programs.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
yeah, and the more you're willing to question, the more data you'll actually be privy to.
too true. Too true. Well, thank you again for coming and sharing the love letters from the universe. And I want to tell everyone again, You can find Lisa's Love Letters from the Universe and all of her essays and writings at heartsongmusings.wordpress.com. And now you're having tomorrow from 1 to 3 your third workshop. And is that still open and available for seating, or
Oh,
is
yeah,
okay?
absolutely. Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
So if you happen to catch this tonight, I will be putting this out tonight, and you would like to attend tomorrow, reach out to Lisa at uh, Rush Solutions TFT, and that stands for Tools for Transformation. So Rush Solutions TFT at gmail.com, and in the subject line put tomorrow's workshop.
And also, I'll leave a link in my blog. So, and well, I had trouble getting the link in there last time. So, it if you just see the numbers there, you can punch that in where it says join. What does it say?
Meeting. It
Join
says
meeting
join
maybe?
meeting, and it'll ask for a meeting ID.
Yep, the meeting ID is what I will place in my blog so that you can join us. I would love
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And that's 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Friday, August the
Yeah.
25th, 2020.
Part 3 is titled Trust Yourself.
Yes. Okay. I'm excited for that one myself.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. Well, thank you, my friend. I love you so much. And to everyone else, I hope that you will continue practicing, moving towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. For me, I'm convinced it's the only way forward. It's the best way forward, you know.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Be
Much
well,
love.
my friends.